Hi friends, hope you guys are good. My name is Precious Mamba and I'm back with another video. Friends, we are still continuing in terms of the differences that you can expect when you go to Isonto Labazalwane. So friends, today we are talking about Ukukhishwa kwengane. This is where a little ceremony is done, and then after that ceremony is done, it is now deemed safe for you to expose the child into the world. So if you are coming from another church and you're coming to Isonto Labazalwane, please don't expect that they're going to come and do this. They don't do it. All Abazalwane do, they pray for their children. They don't have a set of rules that, okay, you've just had your child, you need to stay in the house for a certain amount of time before you can come out, or now you should request for them to come and basically do that sort of ceremony for your child to come out. No, they don't do that. All they do is pray. When they want to leave the house with the child, go wherever, they just pray. So when it comes to Ukukhishwa kwengane, I can just explain briefly of how at my church at that time, the church that I went to at that time, how it was done. Obviously, there was a certain amount of time that the mother was required to stay indoors with the child. The only time you leave the house is when you're going to places maybe like the clinic and all that, but you just go in and out. You are not supposed to be like out, you know. So once a certain amount of time has passed, now the church members, they'll come. When they come, obviously they pray, bathe the child, and what the mother would be asked to do before they come. For example, the church which I was at, it also differs from which church you go to. So at the church where my mother was at that time, what they do, they request you to get the sole of your father's shoe. They take that, they burn it to ashes, take it, mix it with Vaseline, and the mother is instructed that every time when they leave the house with the child, they should put that on the child before they're leaving the house. So this is deemed as something that will protect the child. And as well, mostly if you go to Isonto Labazalwane, for example, they use strings. So that make a string for you, and they use that, they put it on your wrist as a baby. And then what they'll do, there's a time where they'd go out of the house with the child. They go stand outside just for a couple of minutes, and then they come back. So that's how it was done. And also depending as well, if you're a person who's doing it strictly in a cultural way, strictly ngokwesintu, it would also be done differently. If you're doing it that route, obviously that's when you'd have to where there's slaughtering of goats and basically speaking emsamo and all that, you know. So that's how things are done on this side. But when it comes to Abazalwane, like mentioned before, they don't do all those things. All they do is just pray. And personally, I have witnessed it with my sister-in-law. I remember when my nephew was born, I was babysitting. So there was a time we were living in, well, they were living in CBD, and as mentioned, I was coming to babysit the child. So all she did, she took her child, prayed for the child, and we left. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, this lady is bold. Like, she's just taking the child, and the child was about 2 weeks old at that time. And because in my mind, I'm thinking, you're just gonna pray for the child and prayer is enough, because we're in CBD, and CBD, you know, CBD has got people coming from everywhere. So I'm definitely sure that in CBD there are so many spirits coming from all over. Okay, because this because you must remember at that time when I was babysitting, I wasn't yet born again. And I was not yet exposed to people that just pray only for protection. So this is why my thinking pattern was in this manner. So no, all she did is she took her child, prayed for the child, and we left and we went shopping with the child, came back, returned, and I can testify the child till today is fine. They have had no problems, no issues at all. Actually, she is one of the people that I did have at the back of my mind when I gave my life to Christ, that you know what, if she can do it, live her life with just Christ only, then definitely I can do it. So friends, that is all I had for you today in terms of sharing, and what you can expect when you come to Isonto Labazalwane. So as mentioned, don't expect them to come to your house. Ukukhipela ingane. They don't do that. Until next time, friends, goodbye.